In the last tutorial, we learnt how to make a class as a place where we store all of our variables and bits of code. There's much more to it than that, of course, but as a basic idea, that will suffice for now. Now we have this concept called a method, and you can think of a method as a block of code that performs a function. The way we declare a method is by typing something like public void add numbers. Now when we open a bracket, which is part of the method declaration, we can pass it over some variables. So I can say you're going to receive an integer of number 1. Whoops, that's Xamarin's error. Integer of number 1 and an integer of number 2. And then I open some curly braces and close them. So now I've got a method. This public void section is called a method. You don't have to pass in items, but generally you will do. Inside of here, I can have an integer answer equal to, and then I can access the number 1 that was passed in plus the number 2. And this will create an answer that's equal to number 1 plus number 2. So you'll notice this method has nothing to do with these variables. So what if I wanted to add these variables together? Well, I'd need to call the method. So let's say I was in some other random place inside some other code. I could have something along the lines of, this isn't completely true, but along the lines of ownClass.add numbers, and then I could pass it over some numbers like 9 and 10. And what that would do is go into this class, pop over to this method, and create an answer out of them. That is basically what a method is. A method stores a little block of code. What if I wanted to get that answer back? Well, what I could do is come under this line and say return answer. And then inside of the method, I would modify it, and I would have int, because I'm going to return an integer. Before, when I had void, void means I return nothing, so nothing is expected. But when I have integer, I'm explicitly saying every time you call this method, you're going to return a number, and it will be an integer. Then down in ownClass.addNumbers, we can create another variable called var answer equal to. And these two variables, answer here and answer here, don't know about each other's existence, which is why they can have the same name. So down here, it accesses this variable, adds the numbers, and creates an answer for us. So, as some general advice for your programming career, you should make your methods very small. They should generally do 1 or 2 functions, maybe 3 at most. Because the power of methods lies in the fact that you can reuse them as you create your application. So I can use that add numbers method wherever I am in whatever part of my application. I can also come into the add numbers method. I can change things around if I want to, and that means that everywhere that calls the add numbers method is also changed. So that's the real power of methods, is you can change your code in one place and it changes everywhere that you need to use that code.